Story 1. Hey, gather around, folks. I've got a spine-chilling tale that will make you question the very nature of reality. It all began when I stumbled upon an old videotape at a flea market. Intrigued by its worn-out cover, I decided to give it a watch. The tape started innocently enough, a news broadcast from the 1980s. But as the minutes ticked by, something seemed off. The news anchor's demeanor grew increasingly frantic, his voice trembling with fear. He spoke of impending doom and an unknown entity lurking just beyond the realm of understanding. Suddenly, the broadcast was interrupted by a burst of static. When the image returned, it revealed a scene that made my blood run cold. The news anchor's face contorted, his eyes glowing an unnatural shade of crimson. He began spewing gibberish, his words a jumbled mess of despair and madness. In a panic, I tried to turn off the television, but it was no use. The tape seemed to have a life of its own. The room grew colder, and a feeling of dread washed over me. The distorted image on the screen flickered, revealing glimpses of grotesque creatures lurking in the darkness. Hours turned into an eternity as I watched the horrors unfold. The tape ended abruptly, leaving me shaken and bewildered. I returned to the flea market to find answers, but the vendor claimed to have no knowledge of the tape's origin. To this day, I'm haunted by the images burned into my memory. The lost broadcast was a chilling glimpse into a parallel dimension, a dark mirror of our own reality. It serves as a stark reminder that there are forces beyond our comprehension, lurking just beyond the veil of our everyday lives. Story 2. Gather around, my friends, for a tale that will send shivers down your spine. It all began when I inherited an old painting from my deceased aunt, an exquisite portrait of a young woman. There was something captivating about her eyes, as if they held a secret too profound for mere mortals to comprehend. I hung the painting in my living room, eager to display its beauty. But as the days went by, I noticed a disconcerting change. The woman in the portrait seemed to age before my very eyes. Her once youthful face now bore the marks of time, wrinkles etched deep into her skin, her eyes sunken and lifeless. I tried to dismiss it as a trick of the light or my own imagination running wild. But then, the painting started to affect my dreams. I would wake up in a cold sweat, haunted by nightmares of the woman in the portrait, her ghostly figure lurking in the shadows. Desperate for answers, I delved into the painting's history. It turned out that the artist was a tormented soul, rumored to have sold his own sanity in exchange for artistic brilliance. Legend had it that he captured fragments of his subjects' souls within his paintings, trapping them in a perpetual state of torment. Terrified, I decided to rid myself of the cursed painting. But no matter where I moved it, it always found its way back to me, as if drawn by an unseen force. The woman's haunting gaze followed me everywhere, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked within the world of art. To this day, the portrait remains locked away, hidden from prying eyes. But I can still feel the weight of the woman's presence, her gaze piercing through the depths of my soul. Some paintings hold more than just pigment and canvas, they hold the very essence of our fears and desires. Story 3. Gather close, my friends, as I recount the horrors that unfolded at the abandoned carnival. It was a place frozen in time, with faded signs and dilapidated rides that once brought joy to children's faces. But beneath the peeling paint and rusty metal, a malevolent energy lurked, waiting to be unleashed. One fateful night, curiosity got the better of me, and I ventured into the desolate carnival grounds. As I walked through the empty corridors, a sense of foreboding washed over me. The air grew thick with an otherworldly presence, and the sound of distant laughter echoed through the night. I stumbled upon an old, decrepit carousel, the heart of the carnival. Its cracked mirrors reflected twisted images, distorting reality itself. Against my better judgment, I climbed onto one of the worn-out horses and pressed the start button, unleashing a cacophony of creaking gears and haunting melodies. The carousel spun faster and faster, and I felt an invisible force pulling me toward the mirrors. My reflection contorted into a grotesque caricature, mirroring the distorted world around me. I tried to scream, but my voice was drowned out by the manic laughter of unseen entities. With a final burst of strength, I managed to break free from the carousel's grip. I stumbled out of the carnival, vowing never to return. But the nightmares followed me, visions of the twisted carnival haunting my every waking moment. The abandoned carnival taught me a chilling lesson, that places once filled with joy and laughter can harbor the darkest of secrets. It serves as a reminder that some memories are better left buried, locked away in the recesses of our minds. Story 4. Listen closely, my friends, as I share the tale of a forbidden ritual that should never have been performed. It all began when a group of friends stumbled upon an ancient book of spells hidden deep within a dusty attic. Intrigued by the promises of power and forbidden knowledge, we decided to dabble in the dark arts. We gathered the necessary ingredients: a black candle, a vial of blood, and a piece of our own hair. Ignoring the warnings etched within the book's weathered pages, we set out to perform the ritual. As the moon reached its zenith, we gathered in a dimly lit room, the air heavy with anticipation. We chanted the incantation, our voices trembling with a mix of excitement and fear. A sinister energy filled the room, and a gust of wind extinguished all but the black candle's flickering flame. Suddenly, a figure materialized before us, a being of darkness and despair. Its eyes glowed like hot coals, and a wicked smile curled upon its lips. It spoke in a voice that seemed to penetrate our very souls, promising unimaginable power in exchange for our loyalty. But as the figure's true nature became apparent, panic gripped us. We had unwittingly unleashed a malevolent force, a demon hungry for our souls. We tried to reverse the ritual, but it was too late. The room plunged into darkness, and the demon's laughter echoed through the night. Since that cursed night, we have been tormented by the demon's presence. It feeds on our fears, manifesting in our dreams and haunting our waking moments. We are forever bound to the consequences of our actions, forever reminded that some knowledge should remain forbidden. Story 5. Lean in closer, my friends, as I share a tale of a seemingly innocent dollhouse that held a sinister secret. It belonged to a distant relative, an eccentric aunt known for her fascination with the occult. When she passed away, the dollhouse became mine, a twisted inheritance I would soon regret. At first, the dollhouse seemed like a charming keepsake. It was a miniature replica of a grand Victorian mansion, complete with intricate details and tiny porcelain dolls. But as the nights grew longer, the dollhouse's true nature revealed itself. I would wake up to the sound of tiny footsteps echoing through the hallways, the pitter-patter of porcelain feet on the wooden floors. The dolls seemed to move on their own, their lifeless eyes following me as I walked by. Whispers filled the air, the dolls' voices blending into an eerie chorus. Terrified, I decided to investigate the dollhouse's history. It turned out that the aunt had used it as a conduit for dark magic, infusing the dolls with trapped spirits. The dolls were vessels for tortured souls, doomed to eternal suffering within the confines of their porcelain bodies. Determined to break the curse, I enlisted the help of a renowned psychic. Together, we performed a cleansing ritual, releasing the trapped spirits and banishing the evil that resided within the dollhouse. As the last whisper faded, the dolls fell silent, their vacant gazes turning into nothing more than lifeless stares. I locked the dollhouse away, hidden from prying eyes, a reminder of the darkness that can lurk within even the most innocent of objects. The haunted dollhouse taught me a chilling lesson, that sometimes, the terrors we encounter are not confined to the realms of the imagination. Story 6. Huddle closer, my friends, as I recount the spine-chilling tale of the Forest of Whispers, a place where reality blurs and nightmares come to life. It was a dense woodland, shrouded in an eerie mist that seemed to swallow sounds and distort the senses. Intrigued by the forest's enigmatic reputation, I ventured into its depths. The air grew heavy, and an unsettling silence descended upon me. The trees seemed to whisper secrets, their voices carrying a chilling warning to turn back. Undeterred, I pressed forward, curiosity driving me deeper into the heart of the forest. But as I wandered further, the whispers grew louder, morphing into agonized cries and desperate pleas for help. Shadows danced amidst the trees, their elongated forms contorting into grotesque shapes. Fear gnawed at my insides, but I couldn't escape the forest's grip. The world around me twisted and warped, and I felt as if I were trapped within a nightmare. The whispers taunted me, their words laced with malevolence, as if the forest itself was alive and hungry for souls. In a final act of desperation, I mustered the courage to scream, hoping to break free from the forest's clutches. My voice echoed through the trees, and in an instant, the whispers ceased. The forest grew still, and a path materialized before me, leading me back to safety. As I emerged from the forest of whispers, I vowed never to return. Its haunting memory remains etched in my mind, a reminder that there are realms beyond our comprehension, lurking just beyond the boundaries of our everyday existence. Remember, my friends, that some places are best left untouched, and the Forest of Whispers is one such place, where nightmares become reality and the whispers of lost souls still echo through the trees.